Well, now, new vehicle sales in South Africa speeding ahead. The sector recording its 12th consecutive month of year-on-year growth during December 2022. Let's get a reaction on this from Naamsa CEO Mike Mabasa joining us. Hello to you, Mike. All the best for the year. There's a lot of numbers we'd like to unpack. If the cost of living is so very high, where are we finding money to buy all these cars? It's good news for you, of course, but where are we finding money to keep these year-on-year growths?
Happy New Year to you too, Gareth, and good to see you. Absolutely. So I think the challenge that we have seen, which is very exciting for us, is that the South African auto industry, particularly new vehicle sales, have been absolutely resilient. Remember that we do not just rely on consumers, which is me and you who are buying cars, but certainly also corporates and also government and other key customers that are certainly buying vehicles. In the last year in particular, we've seen, for an example, very big sales, particularly from our fleet management companies, rental companies, because remember, pre-COVID-19, many of them did defleet some of their fleet. In 2022, we've seen many of them obviously coming back and they're buying most of those particular vehicles during the course of the year because of the restrictions for COVID-19 being lifted. So I think that has obviously helped us greatly in 2022.
What are the expectations then from the National Association of Automobile Manufacturers, the organization you are the CEO of? Do we expect another stellar year, or could we start seeing some changes in 2023?
Well, look, I think we are very excited that 2022 has obviously been a very, very robust year for us when you compare, obviously, with the corresponding period in 2021. Although we are not yet back at pre-COVID-19 levels, we're still 1.4% short in terms of our numbers compared to 2019, pre-COVID-19. We're very hopeful that this year in 2023, we are certainly going to be outperforming specifically 2019, because that's the barometer that we are certainly trying to get back to, because we were obviously impacted quite very significantly in the last 3 years because of COVID-19, and we're very, very confident that this year in 2023 we'll certainly see an upswing where we'll certainly be able to go far above the numbers that we've seen in 2022.
All right, so there's no real risk then, according to your mind, Mike, we're going to somehow drop down into single figures. Anything that's going to impact the export of our vehicles to other countries? Obviously, we know the ongoing geopolitical issue and socio-political issues between Russia and Ukraine and the knock-on effect there as well. The economy in other countries not doing so well. So are there any regions in the world, any part of our export plans that concern you as an organization?
Well, we are definitely concerned about the export book for 2023, because remember, Gareth, that a number of markets, particularly in Europe, have already indicated to us that they will no longer be bringing in some of the vehicles that we're producing in South Africa, which is our internal combustion engines, because they're already beginning to order and place orders, obviously, for electric vehicles in those markets. South Africa is obviously still very much behind in terms of the production of electric vehicles. And we know that countries like many countries in the Scandinavian region have already indicated that they will no longer be placing orders for the internal combustion engines in those markets. And that obviously concerns us deeply because our export book will definitely be shrinking as a result of those orders not coming through, and those orders obviously going to markets where they will be able to get those electric vehicles. So I think that's our biggest concern at this particular time, and we're obviously working very tirelessly with government so that we can be able to accelerate our plans to be able to start producing electric vehicles in South Africa as well.
So if we start looking at numbers, just as I start saying goodbye to you, Mike, 13.9% is what we've generally been getting over the last couple of years. I see that was 2021. What is the expectation? Because I'm seeing reports that we're going to see a single-digit growth. Just how low a single-digit number is the expectation?
Well, we are confident that we'll certainly also get to double digits. We actually currently projecting at least 11% increase in 2023 compared to 2022. We are obviously still also watching quite a number of challenges that we see globally, particularly supply chain related challenges that we still have. We still have a very big challenge in terms of semiconductor shortages. You'd also recall that China is still also having some challenges in relation to opening its markets, particularly because of the late issues around COVID-19 in that particular region, because it is one of our biggest suppliers for a number of components that we're actually importing from that particular region. So as much as we still have those challenges, we are very, very buoyant that we'll certainly be able to reach a double digit around 11% in 2023 compared to the corresponding period last year.
I certainly hope so. Let's try and keep it in double digits as best we can. Even if it's just double digits, we'll take it for the year, won't we? Mike Mabasa, Naamsa CEO, always very gracious with his time in joining me here.